All right, in this screencast, we're taking a look at hypnosis as an altered state of consciousness. Hypnosis is defined as a social interaction in which a person, the hypnotist, suggests to another, the subject, that certain perceptions, feelings, thoughts, or behaviors will spontaneously occur. Some people question, can anyone experience hypnosis? And to some extent, the answer is yes. We know that there are varying levels of shifted focus. Sometimes when we are driving from point A to point B, we wonder how in the heck did we arrive at the final destination? We don't have any memory of turning in certain intersections. It's something referred to as highway hypnosis. Sometimes you find this to be happening to you when you read, watch movies, maybe play video games. You become completely focused and absorbed at the task. So hypnotic susceptibility or ability is referred to as the ability to focus your attention totally and completely on a task and to be imaginatively absorbed in it. Hypnotists do find that some people tend to be more hypnotizable. Some qualities that people who are highly suggestible possess are not being easily distracted, highly creative, having the ability to fantasize, good imagination, and processing information pretty quickly. One thing that people question is the fact that some people report hypnosis can enhance the recall of forgotten events. One of the things that Freud talks about is repression. And it's this ability for our body to have a defense mechanism where we push something way into our subconscious. Because in reality, in consciousness, in conscious awareness, it might be too painful or disturbing to have to face. So our body just pushes it at a level we're not consciously aware of. Sometimes people argue that by not remembering these events, that it can lead to further anxiety or depression because of an unresolved issue. So hypnotists might use a technique known as age regression, where they bring them back into their past so they can uncover those repressed memories and therefore deal with them and move forward and heal. What we do know is that hypnotic memories are not like a video camera. It doesn't record things fact by fact by fact, and some hypnotic memories could combine fact with fiction. We know hypnosis is not a psychological truth serum. Another question in regards to hypnosis is, can hypnotists force people to do things against their will? And the answer is no to that. Hypnotists can lessen inhibitions, but it's not like they have this mind control power that takes over. Oh, Jake found something. Little interruption here in the screencast. What did you find, buddy? Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I found it. I just got under this.
You found it over there? Okay, cool.
Under
That's
this.
what happens when you do screencasts at home, when your kids are still awake. He's still talking to me. Sorry. Cool. In the couch, you found it there? Cool.
Under the furniture.
Oh, thank you. All right, so again, a person won't be forced into doing something against their will. If they wouldn't do it during their conscious, awake state, you can't force them to do it in a hypnotized state. But we do know people's inhibitions are lessened, and sometimes they'll do things like, let's say, in an entertainment setting, they might dance like a ballerina, quack like a duck, do things that they normally wouldn't do in front of an audience. But because they're in this altered state, they might be more willing to do something like that. One thing that they have found hypnosis to be effective in using is the alleviation of pain. One more interruption. Yep. What's up, Jake?
Can I just have some candy?
Sure. Halloween candy. Here you go.
I have a Twizzler.
A Twizzler. Here you go. All right. So
One more.
when people undergo hypnosis, they might do so
I have two.
for a surgical procedure. it's kind of interesting. It's not done in the United States, but in some European countries, they will use, like you see listed on the screen here, a technique called hypnoanesthesia, where the person is in a hypnotic state. They can actually separate themselves from the pain and in a relaxed, focused state, not be aware of the incision that might be made or the surgical procedure. I've heard of and actually talked to a woman who has undergone child delivery. It's called hypnobirthing in a hypnotized state. So they had no epidural, no pain medicine, and they were able to focus on, in the case of the woman I talked to, she was focusing on a purple balloon. And she was able to take instructions from the doctors and the nursing staff, but she delivered her daughter without any pain medication. So hypnosis can be therapeutic. It's not just for entertainment purposes. There's what's called post-hypnotic suggestion, where a suggestion is made during a hypnotic state that should be carried out after the subject is no longer hypnotized. It's oftentimes used to help control undesired behaviors and symptoms. For example, smoking cessation. You hear sometimes people seeing a hypnotist to try and stop smoking. What the hypnotist might do is give them some suggestions like the cravings after out of the hypnotic state will no longer be present, or that the taste or the smell of smoke is repulsive. So then when they end their session, they find that their cravings are lessened or non-existent, and they find that they don't like the taste or the smell of smoke. That's just one example where they can use hypnosis to get rid of an unwanted behavior like that of smoking. So this slide is pretty important for understanding the two theories that are used in explaining hypnosis: the divided consciousness theory and the social influence theory. These two theories are linked with two psychologists. One is Theodore Barber, and he plays a role in understanding the social influence theory, where the subject is so caught up in the role of the hypnotized that they take instructions, they listen to the hypnotist, and they are highly suggestible. The divided consciousness theory is something that Ernest Hilgard came up with and adopted. And it's the idea that hypnosis has caused a split in our focus and our attention and in our awareness. And he still believes that we are highly suggestible and that we respect and listen and take the instructions of the hypnotist. But he believes that our brain has the ability to block certain signals and messages from certain portions of the brain. For example, you see this woman who is diverting her attention away from the really bad smell, the aversive odor that is being placed in front of her nose. If she's told by the hypnotist that it smells beautiful, that it's like a floral perfume, she might not actually process the fact that it is truly ammonia, because she has separated her conscious awareness of the actual ammonia smell in the regions of her brain that process smell. And the hypnotist is telling her that she's smelling something pleasant, and that is what she's processing. So there are biological influences, psychological influences, as well as social cultural influences that you can see listed below. And in combination, all of these components factor into the overall experience of hypnosis.